welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Anisha. Today I want to talk about some upcoming spring reads. Literally in the month of April, I think there's 5 weeks or something like that, and there's literally a book coming out every single week. No, not every single week. I think 4 of the 5 weeks there's a book coming out, and I could not be more excited. I really could not be. I'm trying to get back into my fantasy era because I kind of got out of it. I got sidetracked by romance. I was having a great time, but I recently picked up the Exquisite by Sarah Hashem. It's so good. There was a little minor hiccup where I was like, I don't know, but I continued past it. It was all good. So yeah, I came on this dreary day to talk about some spring books because there's so many I'm looking forward to. There's so many cool books, so many cool books. There's so many interesting books coming up this season. So yeah. So the first book, I can't, ignore this. This is like a monumental event. I recently have become such a large Abby Jimenez stan. I just feel like she's so good at creating characters. She's so good at actually making a plausible third act conflict. And, as romance readers, we know how hard that is. But her third act conflicts always actually make sense. They're not they're just to be there because that's how romance books tend to be written. So, the book is, of course, Just for the Summer, which is coming out on April 2nd. So, Just for the Summer follows Justin and Emma, who are both cursed to have their partners always fall in love with the love of their life after breaking up with them. So, they plot to date each other, break each other's curse, and then move on, find the love of their lives. I don't know. I feel like Abby Jimenez has become such an auto-buy author for me because she's just so top tier. But yeah, I'm super excited. Coming out literally next week, I believe. So, the next book is Wild Love by Elsie Silver, and that is coming out on April 9th. So, I believe this follows the brother of the girl in Heartless, so Willa, and his love story. So he ends up moving back into a small town, and it's a billionaire, single dad, forced proximity romance. And honestly, that's exactly what I'm interested in. I love those books. They're so cute. I think it's not even that I love it, it's just that Elsie Silver writes it so well. Both of my favorite Chestnut Springs books involve just dads. And I don't know what that says about me, but Reckless and Heartless just have my heart. I don't know what to say. They're just so well done. My only thing, though, is that based on what I've seen, I'll insert a picture right here. Wild Love is kind of a chonker. And I'm kind of scared because do romance books really need to be that long? Do they? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be a hater before I even read it. Maybe it's fully necessary. But she looks long. She looks chonky. I don't know how I feel about that for a romance book. But we'll see. Okay, the next book is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. And it's coming out on the same day, April 9th. I read Ninth House a few weeks ago, and I just fell in love with Leigh Bardugo again. She is just such a phenomenal world builder and storyteller. Another auto-buy author. The Familiar follows Lucia Cortado, and she is gifted to perform miracles. And this comes to the attention of Antonio Perez, who is a kind of disgraced Secretary of State to the King. And he basically thinks of how he can manipulate her abilities to regain the favor of the king and kind of up himself back into society. I'm kind of hoping for a little romance. I'm kind of hoping for a little whimsical darkness that Leigh Bardugo is so good at creating. I'm so excited. So this book is a historical fiction. What more can I say? Historical fiction, magic, a little romance, I hope. Can't get better than that for me personally. Okay, the next book I have to talk about is the next book in the Boys of Tommen. So if you have not read the Boys of Tommen, okay, while I don't think it's for everyone because Obviously, everyone has different sensitivities. Everyone has different lines that they don't like to cross. So my kind of disclaimer is coming from the fact that it is set in 2005 and they talk like they're in 2005. So sometimes they're not saying the most PC things. They're not saying anything hateful, because I would not stand for that. But they're saying things that are not as progressive as we would be used to today. But I feel like this entire series, I've read the current 4 books that are out right now. The books are just about so much more than, you know, what they're talking about. It deals with so many more deeper issues, how different people are going to react in different situations. It deals with domestic violence. It's talking about drug use. I feel like these themes are so well explored and handled with such grace, but mixed with reality. I just feel like Chloe Walsh is very good at creating those stories. So, with that disclaimer out of the way, the 5th book is coming out. Sorry, I got too excited there. The 5th book is coming out. It's Taming 7, which is Gibbsy's book. I admittedly am not the biggest fan of Gibson, just personally, but I also wasn't a fan of Joey, and now he's my favorite, he was my favorite books to follow. So I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but yes, that book is coming out on April 16th, and this book is more of like a literary fiction. It's really a character study. Things are happening to the characters, and we're kind of just watching them react and navigate that situation. And of course, cannot talk about books coming out in April without talking about Funny Story by Emily Henry. So, I was watching Larry Reed's video today, and she was talking about how she didn't really like Happy Place, and she didn't really like people we meet on vacation, but she really loved Beach Read and Book Lovers, and that is the exact situation that I am in. I really did not like Happy Place. I just felt like it was not doing what it needed to for me. I just felt like the miscommunication was not good. The 2 love interests had no chemistry. I just wasn't rooting for them. But Larry Reed was reading Funny Story, and she loved it, so I have really high hopes. But yeah, again, if you've read Emily Henry, she writes literary fiction, and then it has a romance subplot. So this book follows Daphne, who is left by her fiance, who reconnects with his childhood best friend, Petra. So, taking this in stride, what she does is she connects with the one person who could understand what she's going through, Petra's ex, Miles, and they plot to have this very public social media-based relationship throughout the summer to hopefully make their exes jealous. Yeah. So, you know, I'm interested. It seems like a good time. Yeah. It's coming out April 23rd. The next book I want to talk about is The Ministry of Time, which comes out on May 9th. And this is a sci-fi romance following our main character, who's a civil servant, and she is hired to become something called a bridge, where she basically is forced to live with this explorer from the 1800s and kind of just help him acclimate to current time. I'm just assuming shenanigans are going to ensue, and I'm hoping for some good banter. Based on the little summary that we have, I think there's going to be a cast of really quirky and interesting characters. I'm looking forward to it. The next book I want to talk about is A Crane Among Wolves, and this is set in 1506 Joseon, and people are living under a tyrannical ruler, Yonsan, and he is known for taking advantage of women and taking them and treating them terribly. And our plot kind of hinges on the fact that the older sister of our main character ends up being abducted, and she sets out on a journey to save her sister and strike up unlikely alliances, namely with the half-brother of the ruler. This sounds like a harrowing story, and I just love the cover art of this. It's so beautiful. Honestly, would buy it just for the cover. Is that illegal of me to say as a reader? Maybe, but it's the truth. The final book I want to talk about is Evocation by S.T. Gibson. S.T. Gibson is a queen. She's so good at talking about different dynamics and relationships. She's very good at teasing out the nuances in odd power dynamics, just different types of love and how that impacts our relationship with people, positively or negatively. She's just a masterclass in writing relationships and their dynamics. This book is following David, who is an attorney by day and an extremely powerful medium by night. And upon the death of his father, he becomes conscious of a ancestral deal that was struck with the devil and learns that his days are numbered. And the only way that he's going to be getting out of this is by reconnecting with his arch nemesis. And the only way he can do that is through his nemesis' wife. So I think that this is going to be another throuple situation. I don't know. I feel like S.T. Gibson really writes them well. She does a good job. Anyways, those are all the reads I am excited for this spring. I'm sure more will randomly pop up, but these are the ones that I currently have, marked in my calendar that they're releasing. April looks like it's going to be an amazing month. May sounds like it's going to be an amazing month. I can't wait. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what books you're looking forward to this spring. And tune in next time.